Today we're going to be taking a look at an upgrade for your airsoft helmet that's not only incredibly stylish, but also effective at keeping you concealed, and that is the Beez Combat Systems Predator Ghillie helmet cover. What's up, Airsofters? My name is Lane and welcome to the BB Warrior. And if you think about it, the idea of trying to cover your ballistic helmet and add some concealment has really existed as long as these helmets have. If you look back to World War II, there's plenty of examples of people putting netting on their helmets, and the same concept has been evolved throughout the years. People have added natural materials, they've added overhead cover, they've added a lot of different things to their helmet to try to break up that round shape. Because if you think about it, the first thing that you're exposing when you're peeking out of corners is going to be your head, so obviously you don't want people to see that. And the thing that I like is taking that idea that's been refined throughout the decades and using some modern manufacturing techniques to make something that is truly one of a kind. And I think as soon as you look at this cover from Beez Combat Systems, you notice that it's a little bit different than the other stuff on the market. And that's because they use laser cutting technology. So this is a single sheet when it comes to you. However, as you can see, it adds some different shapes. It breaks up that silhouette of the helmet. And I think that's not only through the design and also the manufacturing as well. So when you get this in the box, what's going to come to you is going to be a flat sheet and some bungee. You tie the bungee around the circumference of the sheet, you cut off these little dreads on here and weave them in, and then you're good to go to put this on your helmet. It's super easy. You're not doing something DIY that's going to take a couple hours. You have to buy a bunch of supplies, and at the end of the day, you might not even get something that conceals you as well as this. So I like having something that is just ready to go out of the box. Now I will say, because this is a little bit different than other helmet covers, like for example, this one on this OpsCore helmet here, the only retention on this is going to be by that piece of bungee that runs around the circumference of the helmet. So what I've done is I actually took the back end where I have a little bit extra material and I wove it in through the hardware on the helmet for the straps to make sure that no matter what, this will not come off. But because it's bungee, you can cinch that down to get a real tight fit on the helmet. The nice thing about this is you can still have accessories on your helmet, whether you're going to add strobes, a night vision mount. There's a big cutout in this cover here for a variety of different shrouds. It'll fit over this. It'll fit over this one hole that I have here on an ACH, and it also fits over a traditional OpsCore style on this helmet. My one piece of advice would be if you're going to use this helmet cover in conjunction with some other accessories on your helmet, and I have this one for an example, if you're going to be using it with Comtacs or anything that sits on an arc rail, my advice would be to put the helmet cover on first, then put the arc rail accessories on. You might have to make a couple of cuts to the helmet cover to make sure that you can slide those onto the rails and they fit on there nicely. But other than that, this will help to conceal you greatly, in my opinion. I think the fact that there is still spots on here to add either natural vegetation, to add other materials, whatever it may be, to route wires through, I think only makes this more versatile. There's always that one guy that is going to go through the trouble, even for an airsoft game, of putting natural stuff in his helmet, because it is going to help with his concealment. Don't get me wrong, it's just a lot of work for most games, in my opinion. I think one of the other things that makes this better than a lot of other options out there is you can probably see it on the camera right now. This is multicam. What I like about that is not only do you get a better variety of camouflage patterns, there's over 12 different options that these covers come in, so you can match your kit. You can find something that's better for your environment than just buying like surplus netting and throwing that on there. But as an airsofter, as somebody that goes to games that are often green versus tan, it makes it so I can have better camouflage on here than a traditional helmet cover or just no cover at all, and it will match with my team. I can't tell you how many times I go to games where somebody is on green team and then their helmet is going to be tan, or vice versa. They're wearing multicam, which is a tan pattern, and then they have a green helmet like this one behind me. So having this, which can actually be a registered camouflage pattern, I think is great for identifying IFF in airsoft. So other than that, just kind of taking a look at the construction of the helmet, even though this is laser cut and some of these cuts are really close to each other, this is fantastically constructed. Like the laser cutting on here, especially where you mount the bungee that runs across it, these cuts are incredibly close to each other, but they're clean, they're crisp, there's no defects throughout this. And again, there's just tons of little spots to, have your wires routed through, to put more vegetation on there, whatever it may be. The Predator Ghillie helmet covers do come in 2 different sizes. So they have one that is sized for high cut helmets like this one, where when you put it on, your ears are still going to be exposed. As I put this on real quick. So helmets that are cut like this, but as well, if you have helmets that are like low cut helmets, like this ACH, they also make ones with more fabric so it'll stretch over this. If you've got 2 different types of helmets, I would say that, either one could work for you in a pinch. If you use the one that is a high cut like that one, it'll end right here, a little bit of the helmet will be exposed. And if you grab the one for high cuts and try to put it on a low cut helmet, or vice versa, excuse me, if you've got the one with extra material, it could be tucked away under the brim of your helmet. But overall, I just think that these are a really good idea for helmet covers. I think that having these available in more than just like either surplus netting or your traditional tan, green, solid colors, I think this does a better job at breaking up your silhouette, which is very important. I think they look super cool as well. This is definitely a vibe for me. I just think that they do a better job than traditional helmet covers. The one thing that this doesn't do as well compared to traditional helmet covers is protect the actual coating of the helmet itself. You can see on this one, you can still kind of see in at the green on the inside of it. If you're getting scuffs, hitting hard things with this, this doesn't provide a ton of protection to the coating of the helmet itself. But if you care about this, this can easily go over a standard helmet cover like the one on this ops core here. So that is not a worry at all. And there's, again, plenty of accessory room under here. There is some extra space, so if stuff needs to go under the helmet cover, that is totally doable with this. But overall, I think these are super neat, and I would highly recommend them to anybody who uses a helmet in airsoft. They don't add a ton of bulk. They don't add stuff on there that's going to make the helmet hotter when you're in the sun, which ultimately leads to fogging. So if you want to check this out, I will have a link to Beez Combat Systems in the description below. Again, a huge thank you to them for sending this out for review. But that's going to do it for today's video. I hope that you enjoyed it. And I do just want to say a quick shout out to all of our channel members who make the videos on this channel that I do possible. Without their support, there would simply be no BB Warrior channel in the way that it is today. But if you want to watch even more content, you can click right up here for our latest video, or you can click right over here for a random video that you may enjoy. But my name is Lane, and I'll see you all next time.